Prepare to be amazed by images that will take your breath away. Hollywood's once glorious actresses now haunted by the darkness of drugs. Beauty-body career all seemingly lost in 2025. These are untold stories where fame, luxury, and ruin collide in a brutal way. Hit play, subscribe, like, and share because these changes will make you think like no one else has. Britney Spears is a pop phenomenon who defined a generation with her voice and charisma, captivating audiences in the late 1990s and early 2000s. With her debut hit, Baby One More Time, she didn't just release a song but created a cultural craze. Before the age of 20, millions were captivated by her voice and style, dubbed the pop princess. Britney seemed to have it all, but behind the bright spotlight were unexpected hardships. From a young age, she was pushed into the cycle of fame, from talent shows to lucrative contracts, always having to meet expectations instead of discovering herself. In 2007, Britney went through a tumultuous period, shaving her head and facing the media images that became the focus of global discussion. The pressure of fame, scrutiny, and paparazzi invasion of her privacy nearly caused her to collapse. Additionally, being placed under her father's conservatorship deprived her of control over her career, finances, and personal life. After more than a decade of being controlled, Britney finally found her voice. In 2021, her emotional testimony exposed everything, and the court officially ended the conservatorship today. Britney Spears is not only a pop star, but also a living testament to resilience, a reminder that behind the spotlight are real lives struggling with real challenges. Heath Ledger. How many more talents have to endure the extreme pressures before Hollywood really protects them? No one, not even Heath, could have prepared for what was to come. Young, handsome, charismatic, and uniquely sensitive Heath not only played the role but lived it. By 2008, with The Dark Knight, he had gone from promising actor to legend as the Joker, an unpredictable, terrifying, and charismatic villain whose chaotic power consumed every scene and even Heath himself. Those close to him revealed that Heath struggled to sleep, skipped meals, and battled severe anxiety. While the world praised his talent, he had to calm himself with a dangerous mixture of prescription drugs, sleeping pills, anti-anxiety drugs, and painkillers. Every night is a risky balancing act, a silent battle that few people witness, where art and personal health collide fiercely. On January 22, 2008, the world was shocked when Heath Ledger, just 28 years old, was found dead in his Soho apartment of an apparent drug overdose. His passing was a wake-up call for young actors, reminding them that the spotlight brings both opportunity and a harsh price. Heath's legacy lives on not only in his timeless performances, but also in his lesson about the fine line between dedication and the price of excellence. Marilyn Monroe was more than an actress. She was an icon, a legend. With her platinum blonde hair, red lips, and infectious smile, she redefined Hollywood glamour and sex appeal, captivating millions and becoming one of the most iconic women of the 20th century. But behind that perfect image was a woman who struggled with loneliness and vulnerability that the world rarely saw. Born Norma Jean Mortensen. Marilyn grew up in orphanages and foster homes, while her mother was committed to a mental institution. Safety and unconditional love were luxuries. Instead, she learned to project happiness, and the world believed in it. In Hollywood, she was often treated as an object, a blonde doll to be entertained. Studios wanted glamour, not art, and Marilyn was forced to take tranquilizers and sleeping pills to reduce anxiety, and given contracts she couldn't refuse. Sleepless nights, loneliness, and failed relationships, especially with Joe DiMaggio and Arthur Miller, drove her to despair. On August 5, 1962, at the age of 36. Marilyn was found dead of an overdose of barbiturates, a death officially ruled an accident but one that remains shrouded in mystery. Today, Marilyn's image is still celebrated in magazines and popular culture, but the real story behind the spotlight is a timeless warning about the price of fame, about the dangers of glorifying the image at the expense of the real person. Her life is a testament to both the allure and the harsh pressures that lurk behind the spotlight. Whitney Houston was more than just a singer. She was the voice that shook the world when she sang, "I Will Always Love You." Whitney didn't just sing, she touched the hearts of millions, broke records, and became an icon. Her beauty, her clear voice, and her mesmerizing presence made her seem invincible. But behind the scenes, Whitney was falling apart. Her passionate but tumultuous relationship with Bobby Brown dragged her into a spiral of cocaine, alcohol, and other drugs. What started out as a bright love affair turned into a toxic relationship filled with conflict and secrecy. Her once captivating voice began to waver. Her performances were unpredictable and her public image declined. As the media ridiculed her, Whitney sank deeper into addiction. On February 11, 2012, the day before the Grammy Awards, she was found unconscious in a bathtub at her Beverly Hills hotel at the age of 48. The official cause of death was accidental drowning, linked to cocaine, alcohol, and prescription drugs. Whitney Houston is not only a musical legend, but also a cautionary tale. Fame does not heal wounds, and great talent cannot save a struggling soul. Behind the spotlight, the sold-out shows, and the accolades, a woman was fighting a silent battle. Her legacy lives on in the music that touched millions, while reminding us of the compassion, support, and hidden pressures of fame. River Phoenix has the face of an angel and the soul of a storm. He is not just the promise of Hollywood, he is the promise. Often compared to James Dean, River touched the hearts of audiences with his sensitivity in Stand By Me and his depth in My Own Private Idaho. His screen presence alone is hypnotic, intense, and genuine, but behind the aura is a darkness that the public rarely sees. Growing up in a liberal family full of music and freedom, but also full of conflict. River was exposed to drugs at an early age. As a matter of course, childhood wounds cannot be healed by applause or fame. On the night of October 31st, 1993, River, his brother, and friends went to the Viper Room, a club co-founded by Johnny Depp. A night of partying turned tragic when River ingested a speedball, a dangerous mixture of heroin and cocaine. He convulsed in the street. Walken called 911 in desperation, but River was gone at the age of 23. River's death was more than a tragedy. It was a wake-up call about the pressures of the spotlight, the silent grip of addiction, and the price paid by those who seemingly have it all. Today, River Phoenix remains a haunting phenomenon, a testament to extraordinary artistry, and a reminder of the vulnerabilities that lurk beneath fame, beauty, and promise. Lindsay Lohan. There was a time when Lindsay seemed unstoppable. With her mischievous smile and natural talent, she quickly captured the world's attention. In Mean Girls, she established herself as the undisputed queen of teen movies, possessing the charm, style, and aura that would make her a permanent fixture at the top of Hollywood. But behind the glamour was a darker reality. Lindsay grew up in a volatile household where her parents often fought publicly. Instead of seeking refuge, she sought attention from the world around her. Fame came like a storm, million-dollar contracts, endless parties, paparazzi everywhere, and an industry that relentlessly exploited her. Gradually, everything came crashing down. Lindsay was arrested for drunken driving, photographed with drugs, and repeatedly rehabbed. The media turned her life into a drama, each relapse a headline, Each tear a story. Despite her struggles, Lindsay has found stability and is slowly rebuilding her life. Her story is more than just a shooting star. It is a warning about children becoming commodities in the hands of unprotected fame. Lindsay's journey reminds us that talent alone is not enough to withstand the pressures and pitfalls, and that behind the smiles, the movies and the red carpets lie real struggles that the public rarely sees. Macaulay Culkin was once the most recognizable face in the world. With Home Alone, he became Hollywood's golden child. His charisma was all natural. He didn't act. He simply showed his every expression, every line capturing the hearts of audiences. Before he understood the full meaning of fame, Macaulay had become a global superstar. But behind that fairy tale was a hidden monster, his own family. His father, Kit Culkin, was also his manager, controlling Macaulay with an iron fist, treating him like a product, an investment, a money-making machine. Personal choice was non-existent, only a relentless schedule. By the age of 14, exhausted and emotionally drained, Macaulay decided to leave the film industry, a painful but necessary decision. In the years that followed, his public image deteriorated. Paparazzi photographed him as gaunt, unkempt, and distant. Rumors of drugs were rife, and while Macaulay denied many of the allegations, he admitted to experimenting as an escape from a life he never chose. It wasn't a sudden collapse, but a gradual, quiet disappearance. Today, Macaulay has found peace, a private life, a happy family, and a smile again. His story is a quiet but powerful reminder that a childhood in the spotlight is fragile, and that fame is both a blessing and a burden. Judy Garland. Before Britney Spears. Before Lindsay Lohan. There was Judy Garland, the first victim of the Hollywood system. A child prodigy with a golden voice. Judy lit up the Wizard of Oz with her warmth and the immortal song, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. But that rainbow did not lead to happiness. Judy was not only discovered but also exploited. From a young age, the studios controlled her to an alarming extent. Amphetamines to keep her in shape, stimulants to endure long shooting days, sedatives to sleep when exhausted. She grew up in a toxic cycle of hunger and fatigue just to please the audience. Judy was no longer human. She was turned into a product, a perfect but broken doll. As an adult, her addiction to stimulants and her declining mental health led to a life of scandal, broken marriages, and mental breakdown. In 1969, at the age of 47, Judy was found dead of an overdose of sedatives, officially an accident, but in reality a tragic, predictable end to a system that pushed her to her limits. Judy's artistic legacy lives on, but her personal story is a powerful warning. Hollywood pressures, especially on young talent, are invisible but dangerous. Judy Garland didn't just die of drugs, she died of neglect. Her story reminds us that behind the glittering lights are real people and that protecting extraordinary voices is everyone's responsibility. Philip Seymour Hoffman was not a star in the traditional sense. He did not possess the physique of a leading man or seek the limelight. But every time Hoffman appeared on screen or stage, the world seemed to stop. His performance in Capote earned him an Oscar, while his roles in The Master Doubt and Magnolia demonstrated his unparalleled versatility. Each character he played was unforgettable. Hoffman was an artistic chameleon, a genius with great expressive power. However, even the brightest lights could not erase the darkness within. Since childhood, Hoffman had struggled silently with heroin addiction. For more than 2 decades, he maintained sobriety to overcome personal hardship, but in 2012 that balance was shaken. Relapses, attempts at recovery, and silent battles took place in locked rooms, endless nights, until the day he could not overcome. On February 2, 2014, Hoffman was found in his New York apartment with a needle still in his arm at the age of 46. His death was shocking not only because it was the loss of a brilliant actor, but also because it underscored a heartbreaking truth. Talent, success, and admiration cannot protect anyone from inner struggle. Hoffman was a devoted actor, father, and respected professional, but no one could save him from his inner darkness. His life is a testament to the importance of empathy and support, and a lesson in the hidden losses that even extraordinary people face. Demi Lovato, to millions. Demi Lovato was the shining face of the Disney Channel. A young girl with a powerful voice, a captivating smile, and a future that seemed destined for stardom. With platinum albums and epic tours under her belt, she had all the perfect looks fans could dream of. But behind the glamour was a broken soul. From a young age, Demi battled little-known demons, an eating disorder, severe depression, bullying, and shattered self-esteem. While the cameras captured her radiant smile, she was slowly crumbling inside. Demi's teenage years were spent medicating with alcohol, cocaine, and opioids. In 2018, the world was shocked when Demi was found unconscious after a near-fatal overdose heroin laced with fentanyl, a dangerous mix that has claimed the lives of many. Miraculously, she survived, though she was left with lasting brain vision and mobility problems. After hitting rock bottom, Demi broke her silence in her documentary, opening up about her suicide attempts, the assault she endured, and the industry that pushed her to the brink. Today, Demi Lovato is more than just a pop star. She is a powerful voice for mental health recovery and self-acceptance. Her story is both a warning and an inspiration, a reminder that behind the spotlight are silent battles, but survival and recovery are possible with resilience, support, and courage. Amanda Bynes. For years, Amanda Bynes was the face of teen comedy, a charismatic, funny, and charming girl who won over audiences on The Amanda Show, What a Girl Wants, and She's the Man. She was Nickelodeon's golden girl, the natural heir to the Hollywood teen crown, with every performance bursting with energy and joy. Everything seemed destined for a life in the spotlight, but behind the laughter and applause was a void that few people recognized. By 2012, Amanda was in the news for arrests, controversial posts, and disturbing events. The truth was more serious. She struggled with Adderall addiction, abuse of prescription medication for ADHD, and untreated mental health issues. One of the most alarming events was when Amanda accidentally set fire to her front door, leading to her family establishing a legal guardianship, which deprived her of control over her life, finances, and career. Since then, Amanda has focused on rebuilding her life, studying fashion, staying out of the limelight, and quietly finding mental stability. Her story is not just a story of a fall from grace, but a cry for help. A warning about the pressures young stars face, reminding us that behind every bright smile and acclaimed performance, there are always hardships that need to be understood. Amanda Bynes' journey is a lesson in compassion, empathy, and resilience. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any new videos. See you in the next video with more captivating and emotional stories.